Good day everyone, my name is Patricia Ann Sanchez. Together with my group mates, Ricardo, Andrei, Musni, and Mateo Rebong, we are Group 1. This research entitled The Effects and Influence of the Internet on the Learner's Habit and Opportunities of DLSU-D in regards to the English language. For the abstract, the digital technology give a high opportunity for the learners to engage in socialize and learning English language as a second language. There are two main factors, reading and speaking. Due to the effective of digital technology, it was demonstrated that can be accessed and earn degree in higher education and study foreign languages. Thus, communicative activity can exercise its speech in developing the communicative competencies. The method was designed as descriptive to observe, analyze, and describe the influence of internet to the learners. It was utilized by the questioners to gather information and to know the study habits of the respondents. By accessing their information, it was presented in a hypothesis that carefully reflects in information that was given. The number of respondents has been interviewed in De La Salle University, Das Marinas.
For this part, we're going to talk about the introduction of our research, or rather, the reasons why and the underlying problem and main purpose of our research. So our main research talks about or deals about the internet and the different kinds of effects and influences it has on the learning attitude and whatever habits it may help develop for those who are studying in De La Salle University, Das Marinas. Now, our curiosity was piqued when during the COVID-19 pandemic, classes were forced to be held online, which was an unprecedented phenomenon because since since the shift to the K-12 program, it's always mostly been a face-to-face classroom discussion or a more traditional classroom approach. However, this has not been the case in other countries where they incorporate the different use or the purpose of the internet, and they see the untapped potential that it has to become a great motivator for people and individuals who want to learn language. Case in point is that the rise of ESL or English teaching jobs in countries like America and even in the countries like Philippines, where there are a lot of English teachers, Filipino English teachers as second language teachers. Now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, this has offered a great chance for us or the researchers to be able to reflect upon and ponder on what kind of attitudes or what kind of learning habits the internet, say for example social media and the chance to communicate with other people and the overall exposure to the kind of content and the kind of language that it presents. As such, we based our research upon a 2017 research and a 2020 research that deals slightly on these two. One was talking about the effects of social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, to those of the students in other countries. And another very similar one, however, this is more of a general statement that is much suited for a master's or a master's degree. Since this only is a basic college level or undergraduate research, we chose to only focus on the De La Salle University Das Marinas, and the scope and limitations of this research will be fully talked about in the research or the methodology section. But for the summary of the introduction, the main goal and the main problem that we want to find is that are there any significant influences or habits that occurs when an individual has access and is exposed to the kind of information and material present in or on social media and the internet. That's one. It would also like to answer the question of whether the kind of websites that one access and the time spent accessing information, does it have any effect or does it have any impact on the kind of attitude and the kind of learning behavior or habits that a learner develops. These two things may be very general and maybe very easy to answer. However, this is quite a new phenomenon that has happened recently in the Philippines due to like I said, or as I mentioned earlier, the unprecedented online classroom phenomenon.
For research design, our group will use descriptive research. What is descriptive research? Descriptive research design is a fact-finding research method wherein the behavior of the respondent were observed, analyzed, and described without being influenced in any kind of way. Our group will collect and utilize essential data by means of descriptive research design through the use of survey questionnaire. For research instrument, we created a questionnaire to reflect the variable used in this research. And for the first part of the questionnaire is consistent of the demographic profile of the respondents. And then the second part contains the questionnaire regards the effect and influence of the internet on the learner's habit and opportunities of the DLSU-D in regards to English language and independent variables in this study. For research local, we will conduct a survey in De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, and De La Salle was selected for knowing the effect and influence of the internet on the learner's habit and opportunities in regards to the English language. This study has tested the essence of internet in learning the English language from the student in CLAC and CTHM. In research participants, we will choose 60 participants of the learners in De La Salle University, Dasmariñas to find out how effective influence the internet in the learners in improving their language. For data analysis, the data will be analyzed primarily by analyzing the content of the open-ended questionnaires that the questionnaire received from the population sample. Since our research tool was a self-administered questionnaire aimed at discriminating demographic profile, their perception of variables such as how often they ascend the network and use the internet for learning purposes, recreational use or purpose, as well as other variables such as the time they spend on the internet. And the second part will be to establish a type of new habits or knowledge that respondents receive when using the internet. As this as a type of descriptive research, it will mainly be the inference and analysis of the researcher basis for the data to be processed and presented.
For data gathering, it was used a random sampling method and questionnaire forms to minimize the bias that may present in the research play that have a higher count of students, particularly in college of CLAC and CTHM students. The procedure held for a week-long time frame with a sample size of 200 students in De La Salle University, Dasmariñas. The questionnaire takes time to 3 to 5 minutes depending on the habits and answer of the respondents.